What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be opening up a Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy VII Cloud Limit Break Game Edition Commander deck. And the only real differences between the Game Edition Limit Break deck and the regular version of the Limit Break deck, besides the box art, is you're going to get an exclusive promo card which has this image on the front of the box art on that promo card, which the image itself is from the PS1 version of Final Fantasy VII, and I can't remember if it's like manual art or a cutscene art, but overall pretty cool like image to have, on the pretty cool image to have on the promo card, especially because it has like the PS1 style graphics, which I think is a pretty cool like nostalgic throwback. And yeah, getting back more towards the deck itself, the Limit Break deck uses the mana types red, green, and white, or mountain, forest, plains. And the general, strategy of the deck is to pretty much, equip weapons, or, use equipment cards with creatures that synergize well with equipment cards to, raise the stats and abilities of, those creatures. And yeah, just have big threatening stuff with all that and just kind of swinging in at people. And if you're familiar with like Voltron decks, it's pretty much that. And yeah, let's check out the box art a little bit more. Get a little better look at the front of it. Hopefully focus a bit better. There we go. Pretty cool. And then nothing too interesting on the top or the sides. Pretty similar, I think, to the original Limit Break deck. Yeah, nothing really on the bottom and the back. Just gives you a little preview of the promo card, I guess. Here, sorry. Kind of hard to get it with the glare. There we go. And yeah, just giving it overall, like, some flavor text and just overview of what's in here. And from what I remember, I think, okay, yeah, it does also include a collector booster sample pack, which is pretty sweet. It's always like a nice little cherry on top for getting the commander decks. And yeah, let's uh let's get into cracking this open. I'll pop the seal off the bottom of this for you guys. I'll skip over that. There we go. Crack the seal on it. Now let's take everything out. And do you know what? Just in case I forgot, I can't remember if I mentioned it already, but yeah, also one of the big differences is that you also get a Final Fantasy VII game download code. So it's pretty cool that you actually get to, play the PS1 version of the game as well if you haven't already. But yeah, let me get back into taking everything out. I couldn't remember if I mentioned that or not while I was talking about everything else. So wanted to at least say that. Slide everything out. There we go. Pretty cool. I think the box art here is pretty much the same as the regular Limit Break deck. You got Cloud here, and I'll try to open the image out a little bit better for you guys. But yeah, I got Cloud here with some counters you can punch out on the sides. Then on the top, there's a little quote. It says, those who those who fight further. Pretty cool little flavor text. And then thing that's spilled out over here is just the comes with a little deck box or cardboard deck box that you can use, which is nice. And I think it also fits not just like 100 cards, but 100 sleeve cards, which is really nice. I feel like a lot of times when you get like complimentary like deck boxes for card games, they won't take account that you're going to be having it with sleeves on the card. So it's nice that they did that. And I'll put that to the side. And next, yeah, we'll just go over. We got little punch out placeholder cards or whatever you want to use them for, which is pretty cool. Got, Tifa on one and then Cloud on the other one. And then inside this little slot here, I think we have our, okay, cool. I think this is our promo stuff and our collector booster sample pack. And also take out our actual deck. Here we go. And there we go. Let's just put this here. And do you know what? Just a moment. I just got to check something real quick. Sorry about that little interruption. I thought I heard a knock at the door, but yeah, we checked out the deck box, and then, obviously we got our deck here, and then before looking at that, we'll check out the little manual that comes with it. I think it's also pretty much the same as the one that comes with the regular Limit Break deck. Go. Give a quick little scan of it as best I can for you guys, since it doesn't really fit into frame. There we go. And then the other side, just showing off the commanders a bit, or the two, commander options they have for the deck. The main one, the Cloud X Soldier card, and then the optional commander, you got Tifa Martial Artist. And then on the bottom, just some little information about the different mana colors. Cool. That to the side. And then moving on. But I'm just trying to think if I want to do the promo stuff before the deck. And yeah, we'll definitely do the promo stuff before that. So yeah, let's take that stuff out. And let's check out our promo. There we go. Or, I probably should get out of the wrapping first. Honestly, this promo is pretty much the main reason why I got this game edition version of the deck, since I already own the regular version of Limit Break. And I feel like for most people who already own the original Limit Break deck, it's also probably the only reason why they bought this game edition version as well. Because it does look pretty sweet, especially if you're a fan of the original PS1 Final Fantasy VII. Beautiful Cloud Midgard Mercenary promo. Got that classic PS1, art style with the card art. Very nice. Got Cloud staring at Midgard and grasping the Buster. And also really glad they decided to, there's a bunch of different Cloud cards in the Final Fantasy set, and I think this was definitely a good choice for, making this, it was definitely a good choice making this specific Cloud card in effect to go with the promo art. Definitely one of the better Cloud cards from the set. Now you get to search your library for any equipment cards, so who wouldn't love that in an equipment themed deck? And, sorry if I'm lingering on the promo a little long, just checking it out, making sure you guys can see, the hollow on it. And moving on next to, got our little code card for Final Fantasy VII. Pretty sweet, especially for those, who haven't played the game yet or just want like a digital version of the game. I still have my copy of Final Fantasy VII for my PS1, but it's still pretty sweet to have a digital version of it as well, something a little bit more accessible, so I don't have to pull out the PS1. And the back just has the promo art on it as well. Looks very nice. Got the ESRB rating for the game on it as well. Cool. And yeah, let's put this to the side. Where do we want to put this? Oh my god. Sorry, I just messed with the lighting for the camera. My bad, guys. And where do I want to put this? I'll just put you. Here we go. Let's move the manual to the side. And there we go. That's better. We'll just put our little. Cool. Yep, that works. Good enough. Cool. And we'll move right along to the collector booster sample pack. Pretty sick. A lot of nice stuff we can get from this. Alrighty. And what do we have? Card number 1 for our collector booster sample pack is, oh, of course, the freaking, the little freaking, I don't even know, ad card. First actual card is gonna be, oh, cool, Titus Una's Guardian extended art. Pretty sweet for our sample pack. No, this is gonna be, nice upgrade for my what's the name of the Titus commander deck? Counter Blitz. Yeah, it'd be nice to swap it out for extended art version of the commander for that deck. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely happy with that. And then next we have Emmett Selch of the Emmett Selch of the Third Seat extended art. Pretty cool. Nice. Yeah, honestly, pretty happy with that for our sample pack. And then on the back of the ad card, just in case you're curious, just a little flavor text. They should never have given us this much power. A little secretlair.com ad. Cool. Alrighty, and let's just we'll put our little sample pack cards over here. There we go. Why not? See if that fits over there. Try to make it fit. There we go. Good enough. And sorry, get back in focus for you guys. And yeah, let's move back on to the actual deck. And if you've already watched my original Limit Break deck opening, nothing too interesting to probably see past this point. But if you haven't seen the deck already, then yeah, let's check it out together, or check it out again for me, but for the first time for anyone who hasn't. But yeah, I'm trying to find where's the little peel thing? Sorry, I'm fumbling hard on this. Let me just pause this real quick and break the seal. Alright, sorry about that. I finally got the little pull tab thing up. Sometimes they make it really hard. So, yep, and it didn't even go all the way. There we go. Cool. And we'll start out with our commander. This deck's commander, we got the Cloud X Soldier card. Pretty sick looking card, and the effect's pretty solid as well. And then next we got our additional or secondary or potential substitute commander, whatever you want to call it, Tifa Martial Artist. Also a pretty solid effect. And put that to the side. And let's, what do we got here? Just a little tip or guide card for playing. Letting you know about the different formats and the different phases and stuff. Cool. And now we can get to the actual deck. Alright, looks like we got all the token cards. Alright, yeah, we'll put that to the side. Maybe we'll save that for last. Check that out at the end. And I think what I did the first time I showed off this deck is I basically broke it in half, because it's really annoying to hold all at once. There we go. That's about half the deck. There we go. Sorry for not being in focus. Terrible camera, and terrible cameraman as well, I guess. And yeah, starting off for the deck, besides our two commanders I showed already, we got Sid Free Flyer Pilot, Cloud's Limit Break, Elena Turk Recruit, Heidegger Shinra Executive, Hella Trooper, Soldier Military Program, Ultimate Magic Holy, Avalanche of Sector 7, Cait Sith Fortune Teller, Summon Kujata, Ultimate Magic Meteor, Vincent Vengeful Atoner, Yuffie Materia Hunter, Bugenhagen Wise Elder, Lifestream's Blessing, Professor Hojo, Summoning Materia, Aerithlas Ancient, Barret Avalanche Leader, Red 13 Proud Warrior, Sephiroth Fallen Hero, Conformer Shuriken, Wrecking Ball Arm, Austere Command, Bastion Protector, Bronze Guardian, Clever Concealment, Pure Steel Paladin, Unfinished Business, Vanquish the Horde, Chaos Warp, Hellkite Tyrant, Professional Facebreaker, Decimate, Armory Automation, Champion's Helm, Conqueror's Flail, Dark Steel Plate, Inspiring Statuary, Sword of the Animist. And there we go. That wraps up that pile, and then now we'll check out the other half of the deck. There we go. Looks like we got most of the lands in this half. And we got Battlefield Forge, Bonder's Enclave, or Enclave, Brushland, Canopy Vista, Cinder Glade, Clifftop Retreat, Exotic Orchard, Firelit Thicket, Fortified Village, Fury Calm Snarl, Game Trail, Mossfire Valley, Rootbound Crag, Rugged Prairie, Scavenger Grounds, Slayer's Stronghold, Spire of Industry, Sungrass Prairie, Sunpetal Grove, Sunscorched Divide, Zac Fair, my bad. Barret Wallace, Dispatch, Secret Rendezvous, Furious Rise, Vandal Blast, Cultivate, Harmonize, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, Behemoth Sledge, Arcane Signet, Colossus Hammer, Explorer's Scope, Hero's Blade. I do wish they put the Buster Sword in the deck, but Hero's Blade, good enough, I guess. Hero's Heirloom, Lightning Greaves, Mask of Memory, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, gotta have it, Trailblazer's Boots. I do love how they made a different Soul Ring for each commander deck too, even for like the Final Fantasy VII ones or whatever. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Ash Barrens, Evolving Wilds, Jungle Shrine, Path of Ancestry, Radiant Grove, Sacred Peaks, Wooded Ridge Line, Command Tower. Nice little image of Midgar there. And then now moving on to our basic lands, and pretty nice. They did the full art basic lands from the different Final Fantasies, and at the bottom it shows which Final Fantasy it's from. So you got Final Fantasy VI, Basic Land Mountain, Final Fantasy IV, Basic Land Mountain. You got the Final Fantasy I, Basic Land Mountain. Then we're getting to the full art forest cards, the Final Fantasy IX, Basic Land Forest, Final Fantasy III Forest, Final Fantasy VI Forest, Final Fantasy 12 Forest, Plains, getting into the Plains now. Final Fantasy VII Plains, Final Fantasy 15 Plains, and now we'll get into our tokens. Got a soldier token, and on the back side, be a rebel. Another soldier token with a rebel on the other side. All right, all the ones that are the same we can definitely skip over. Lots of soldier rebel tokens. There we go. Another one, and the last one, and then we have a foretell card. There we go. Just a little placeholder where to put the card that's foretold at. Nice. And the back side of that is a treasure token. And then a treasure token with, okay, cool. They have the foretell again. Nice. Alrighty, that wraps up that half. And yeah, that wraps up the, just the overview of all the cards in the Limit Break deck. It's exactly the same deck list and cards in the Game Edition Limit Break deck as the regular version Limit Break deck. Like I said before, the only real difference between this Game Edition and the regular version is you get your extra little promo here, the Midgard Mercenary, and then you get the game, Final Fantasy VII game code and the box art. But besides that, everything else is the same. And it's pretty nice that they also still included the collector booster as well. And honestly, really like the pulls we got from my collector booster sample pack in this one. Always cool to get just like extended art of a commander that you use. So yeah, that's nice. And you know what? Since I did it for my other Final Fantasy commander decks, I figured I'd just show off the sleeves I'm going to be using for this one. And going to be using the Dragon Shield Cobalt and Silver. Cool. Nice little color. They have Nice cobalt on the outside and then silver on the inside instead of black. There we go. Cool, cool. And then anything interesting on the bottom? Nah, nothing. Just random stuff. And yeah, why not? Let's sleeve up gotta sleeve up at least the commanders. Oops, it's catching. Let's try not to damage the card. Here we go. Yeah, I won't wait. I'm not gonna sleeve up the whole deck for you guys, but if I figured I'd show off at least a couple of the cards since I showed off the sleeves that I was using for my other Final Fantasy commander decks. Yeah, they look pretty good. They got the little silver on the inside instead of the traditional black that's on like the insides of the Dragon Shield sleeves, so that looks pretty cool. And then on the back, got the cobalt, which is kind of like a glossy cobalt. Try to show it off a little bit better. Yeah, very nice color. I think the cobalt goes really well with the glossy cobalt goes really well with the whatever in the silver on the other side. And cool. I think that pretty much wraps things up. If you've already seen my original limit break deck opening, then this last part with the actual breakdown or overview of the cards and deck probably wasn't that interesting. Probably skipped over it. But if this is your first time seeing the limit break deck, then I just wanted to make sure you guys got to see like the overview as well. So yeah, don't waste too much more of your guys' time. That wraps things up. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, peace out. Have a good one, everyone.